Let's face it, a solid internet connection these days.
Ah,
Well, it isn't just nice to have, is it?
no, absolutely not. It's pretty much fundamental for everything. Work, entertainment, you name it.
Exactly. But figuring out the best way to get that connection, that can feel like a real puzzle sometimes.
It really can.
So you might be wondering, like a lot of people are, could Peplink 5G, could it genuinely stack up against, say, the big name like Starlink
Yeah,
as your main internet solution?
that's the core question, isn't it? And yeah, we've been looking at some really interesting material from Marine Data Solutions. They lay out a pretty direct comparison.
Okay.
So our goal in this deep dive is to really get under the hood, explore the key differences, the benefits each one offers.
Right.
So by the end, you'll hopefully have a much clearer picture of which one might be the right fit for your specific situation.
Okay, so Peplink, maybe for those of us more familiar with Starlink, what exactly is Peplink? What are they bringing to this conversation?
Well, Peplink is a company that specializes in advanced networking solutions. They're known for really pushing the envelope on connectivity tech.
Ah, okay.
And their Peplink Max BR1 Pro 5G, that's sort of their flagship product right now, using AT&T's 5G network.
Gotcha.
Think of them as providing the smart hardware and software to really maximize whatever internet signals are available.
Smart hardware, leveraging 5G. Sounds interesting. So what are the key features of this Max BR1 Pro 5G? What should grab our attention?
Well, there are a few things. First, it works with AT&T 5G SIM cards. That means potentially really fast internet speeds.
Okay, speed is always good.
Yeah, we're talking the kind of speed you need for smooth HD streaming, online gaming without lag, shifting big data files around, the demanding stuff we do online now.
Definitely covers a lot of bases.
Yeah.
What else makes it a strong contender?
Another really big one is compatibility with unlimited data SIM cards.
Oh, now that's interesting.
It is. If you're fed up with watching your data usage like a hawk or worrying about those overage charges.
Which many people are.
Exactly. This is huge. If you do a lot of downloading, streaming, tons of video calls, this feature offers genuine peace of mind. Use the internet how you want without those limits.
Yeah, unlimited data really changes the game, doesn't it? For heavy users, anyway. It lets you do things you might hesitate on otherwise, like constant cloud backups or trying out new streaming things.
Precisely. It's enabling. Now, you also asked about reliability.
Right. What happens if you're, say, mobile or not in a perfect signal spot?
That's where Peplink's focus on reliable connectivity comes in. The Max BR1 Pro 5G is built tough, good hardware, plus intelligent software. It's designed to maintain a stable connection even when conditions aren't ideal.
So for mobile setups, RVs, maybe even remote-ish areas with some signal fluctuation.
Exactly. It aims to provide that consistent access.
Okay, that gives us a good feel for Peplink. Now the big question, how does it really compare head-to-head with Starlink, which so many people know or are considering?
Right. That's the core comparison here. And look, both offer ways to get online, but they definitely cater to different needs, different situations.
Makes sense.
Let's maybe start with speed and performance. We mentioned Peplink 5G can offer really impressive speeds, download and upload, often rivaling traditional broadband. And what's particularly interesting is the low latency you typically get with 5G.
Latency, that's the delay, right?
Exactly. The lag between your click and the response. Lower latency with Peplink means things feel much more immediate, crucial for competitive gaming.
Oh, definitely.
And just makes virtual meetings way less frustrating, more natural.
Okay, so Peplink can be fast and responsive. How does Starlink measure up on speed?
Starlink speeds, being satellite delivered, tend to be more variable.
Oh, cool.
It depends on your location, how many satellites are overhead at that moment. Even things like weather can play a role.
Right, satellite can be affected by that.
So while Starlink can certainly deliver high speeds, they might not always be as consistent as a solid 5G connection. There can be fluctuations.
Okay, consistency versus potential peak speed sometimes. What about actually getting these services? Coverage must be a huge factor.
Oh, absolutely. And this is where Starlink often has a major advantage.
How so?
Its satellite network covers vast areas. It can provide internet in really remote rural places where traditional ISPs just don't exist or won't go.
Right.
For a lot of people in those situations, Starlink is genuinely a lifeline. It might be the only game in town.
So if you're living or maybe traveling way off the grid.
Starlink is likely your primary, maybe only, a viable high-speed option. Now, Peplink 5G.
It needs cell towers, right?
Exactly. It relies entirely on cellular networks, specifically 5G, which is that latest, fastest generation of mobile tech. Think of it like a wider, faster highway for data.
Okay.
But because it uses that ground-based infrastructure, its coverage is obviously limited to areas where 5G has actually been built out.
So that's critical. You have to check the 5G coverage map for your specific location.
Absolutely critical. That determines if Peplink is even an option for you.
Okay, location, location, location. What about the money side? The costs involved?
Always a key question. With Starlink, you've got that upfront cost for the satellite equipment, the dish and modem and whatnot, and then the ongoing monthly service fee.
Right, the hardware investment.
Yeah. And it's worth mentioning, the info we have from Marine Data Solutions points out a pretty significant promotion currently.
Oh.
$1,000 off the Starlink Flat High-Performance Kit. That runs until June 30th, 2025.
Wow, $1,000 off. That's substantial.
It really is. Definitely changes the upfront cost calculation. And they also mentioned if you're in South Florida, Marine Data Solutions might apply 10% of that equipment price towards their professional installation service.
Good to know for people in that area. Okay, so that's Starlink's cost structure with a potentially big discount right now. What about Peplink?
With Peplink, the costs are mainly buying the device itself, like the Max BR1 Pro 5G, and then the ongoing cost of your data SIM card plan.
So hardware cost plus the data plan cost.
Right. It really comes down to weighing those short-term versus long-term costs based on your expected usage. Do you prefer a bigger hit up front with maybe lower monthly, or the other way around?
And that unlimited data potential with Peplink could influence the long-term value depending on your plan and usage.
Exactly. You need to think about the total cost over time, factoring in how much data you might actually use.
Okay, so we've compared them on speed, coverage, cost. Let's circle back and really focus on the Peplink Max BR1 Pro 5G itself. What are its standout advantages?
I'd say one of the biggest is its flexibility and portability.
Okay. How so?
Well, unlike Starlink, which needs that fixed mounted satellite dish.
Right, you bolt that to your roof or whatever.
Yeah, the Peplink device is highly portable. You can just pick it up, move it between locations, use it on the go.
Oh, I see.
That makes it fantastic for temporary setups, RV travel, digital nomads, anyone needing good internet in different places.
That sounds incredibly convenient if you're not tied to one spot. What about getting it working? Is it complex?
Not at all, apparently. The setup is meant to be really straightforward.
Easier than aligning a satellite dish.
Oh, much. You basically just pop in an activated data SIM card, power it up, and you should be online pretty quickly. No complex alignment, no need for pro installation necessarily. That ease of use is a big plus for people who aren't super techy or just want things simple.
Simple setup is always good.
Yeah.
And what about security? That's always on people's minds online.
Peplink devices generally have a reputation for strong security features. The Max BR1 Pro 5G includes encrypted connections, which helps protect your data from, unauthorized snooping. That's important if you're handling sensitive info, doing online banking or business, or just want that peace of mind.
Secure and easy to move around.
Got it. So thinking about how people would actually use this, what are the prime use cases where Peplink 5G really shines?
Well, the material highlights a few key areas. First, remote work and online education. Huge now, obviously.
You need reliable, fast internet for video calls, sharing big files, accessing online classrooms or work platforms. Peplink 5G aims to provide that necessary speed and stability.
Makes total sense for the work from anywhere or study from anywhere crowd. What else?
Travel and mobility, like we touched on. That portability.
Yeah.
It's ideal for digital nomads, RVers, anyone traveling frequently who needs to stay connected reliably on the road.
Taking your internet connection with you, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, without the satellite setup hassle each time you move.
Okay. And one more scenario. What if your main internet at home, like your cable or fiber, goes down?
Yes, the backup solution. That's another excellent use case. Peplink 5G can serve as a really solid backup internet connection.
How does that work?
Well, you can set it up so if your primary internet fails, the Peplink automatically takes over using the 5G cellular connection.
Seamless failover.
Ideally, yes. Ensures continuous connectivity. That kind of redundancy can be invaluable for businesses that rely on being online, or even in individuals who just can't afford downtime.
Okay, so to wrap this comparison up, what's the main takeaway here if someone's considering Peplink 5G instead of Starlink?
Based on what we've seen from marine data solutions, Peplink 5G looks like a really compelling option, especially if you value flexibility, portability, and ease of setup.
Right.
And crucially, if you are located somewhere with good, solid 5G coverage, it offers that strong mix of speed and convenience.
But the big caveat is coverage.
It's the crucial thing. Its coverage is tied completely to where those 5G cellular networks exist. It simply won't reach the truly remote, off-grid locations that Starlink is designed for.
So Starlink definitely still owns that ultra-remote niche. But for people within 5G range, Peplink offers a different package of benefits: portability, simplicity, potentially very competitive speed.
Precisely. And the costs work differently too, so you need to factor in your own usage and budget. Bigger upfront for Starlink hardware maybe versus Peplink hardware plus an ongoing data plan.
So it really boils down to the individual user, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
For you listening, the key is really thinking through your needs. Where are you, primarily? What's the 5G situation like there? Check those coverage maps.
Yeah, definitely do that first.
Then how do you use the internet?
Yeah.
How much data do you chew through? What's your budget look like, both upfront and monthly? And how important is mobility versus just needing coverage in one fixed, maybe remote spot?
Those are exactly the questions to ask yourself. And, if you want to dive deeper or have very specific questions, Marine Data Solutions seems to be a good resource. Their number is +1 954 859 7092.
Good to have that contact.
Okay.
Definitely some important points to mull over. It does make you think, though, with our increasing reliance, almost dependence on being constantly connected, how is this all going to evolve? How might that balance between terrestrial solutions like 5G and satellite solutions like Starlink shift and change in the coming years to best serve all these diverse user needs?
That's a fascinating question for the future, isn't it? Where does that balance eventually